on the women's soccer team. And I just wanted to say thank you for coming today and welcome to our service learning orientation. So we welcome you to this service learning cohort. Since 2004, we have had over 6,000 students work with over 30 plus community partners and complete over 160,000 hours of engagement. And each semester, we survey the students who have participated in service learning. Many are in their first class, and the majority say that they have been connected with their majors and other courses from this experiences. This helped them also learn their course material from their community that they were learning in their classes. So what is service learning? For many of you, this is your first time in a service learning class, so I want to explain what is going to be happening. Service learning is a unique opportunity offered from Dominican where you can learn from your community to see them as a co-educator. You see the theories and practices from your classroom come to life through hands-on experiences. It takes place consistently for 2 hours a week, as well as the time you are in class. And so now I'm going to give you my service learning tip. So I started service learning about 3 years ago. It was my very first class that I went to when I came to Dominican, and I went in with an open mind about this process. And by doing this, I was able to gain helpful insight from this experience. I quickly learned that the community is a co-educator and our partners have so much to offer and to learn from. From this experience, I've been able to stay in Marin City for the last 3 years. That's where I started my service learning. And throughout my time, I've witnessed how the community has helped with the changes in the school system since the mandated desegregation. The programs I have worked with act in a form of genuine allyship for the community, and they are consistently showing up to help the students and families that are being impacted by school desegregation. They're taking on extra work to provide transportation and food for them, as well as extracurricular activities to help the students succeed. They're making sure to celebrate the community's culture and the importance they hold so the rest of Marin County is aware of Marin City's community cultural wealth. I am grateful for all of my experiences I've had in Marin City and have continued to learn from my community. So now I have a fun activity for you to take place in. So let me share my screen really quick. Give me 1 second. Okay. So I don't know if many of you have done it before, but we're going to do a quick little word cloud and a poll. So I'm going to present this. And so how to get started, we have a few options. You can hold your phone up and scan the QR code. You can join by web. So you can go to polleverywhere.com and enter A=185, or you can join by text and text 37607 and text A=185 to that as well. So once you're on there, the first question that I have is, what is the first word that comes to mind when you think of service learning? And I know for some people it might be your first time and you don't know what service learning is except for the brief little excerpt that I gave you, but type in what you think of when you hear service learning. So there's a lot of community helping. Community seems to be a big one, and that's very good and very important. Listen, that's important. It's really good to listen to the community members that you're working with, hear their experiences and see what they're getting out of it and how you're seeing your everyday experiences come to life. Good, there's a lot of good ones, a lot of help, community, service. Open's a good one, being open-minded. We'll give it a few minutes longer and then we'll go to our next poll. Perfect. Thank you for participating in this one. So we'll go to our next question, and you can text it to the same number, or it should still be on if you scan the QR code. And so we want to know, why did you enroll in a service learning course? So you text or respond with A, B, C, D, or E with why you enrolled. And looks like a lot of you said fit your schedule required for your degree. That's how I first started, but I really loved it and I kept sticking with it. And that's totally fine. There's work closely with the community. That's a good one too. Those seem like the two main ones right now. Give it a little longer and then I'll move on.
think it says the poll locked.
Is it locked? Thank you. We'll unlock it. Hopefully that'll help it. There we go. It's still the main two ones, but we're getting more responses now. So a lot of you will fit your schedule and then work closely with the community. Perfect. Thank you all so much for participating. I'm going to stop my screen share really quick. I appreciate you all participating. And now I'm going to pass it to Angelica.
Hello, everyone. My name is Angelica. I am majoring in global public health with a minor in community action and social change. Some of the places that I've done my service learning, or the main place that I did my service learning was digital literacy program serving the Latinx community adapt to the remote learning that we have all been experiencing for the past 3 years now. But through my involvement with digital literacy, I was able to apply for the digital literacy and family engagement coordinator position. Since I was able to work in person, I was able to build relationships with community members as well as build the confidence to apply for the job. In this position, I have utilized the skills and the skills that the service learning courses have provided me with, as well as skills that my public health major has provided me with. My biggest tip would be to engage with course material in order to be able to understand the social issues that your community partner is addressing. This service learning community has been meaningful to me because I was able to find a new career path in global public health, as well as spark in me the need to help my new community. The need to continue to help my community really pushed me to get a minor in community action and social change. Given that all the courses for this minor are service learning, I saw it as an opportunity to continue to be part of the service learning community and further develop my knowledge on social issues and prepare me for careers that will contribute to the public good. And then any of those that are interested in potentially declaring a community action and social change minor, feel free to find more information on our website.
Thank you so much, Angelica, for sharing your experience. Next up, we have Silvia. She couldn't be here today, but we have a quick video from her.
Let's see if I can get that to go. And okay.
My name is Silvia Gamajo. I am a junior and I am double majoring in social justice and psychology with a minor in Spanish. I have been taking service learning classes for a while now, and I've been working with Canal Alliance for about 2 years. I have assisted in the digital literacy program and continue to assist in the rental assistant program, the outreach program, and with Voces de Canal. A lot of the classes that you are required for the social justice major are service learning, which honestly is beneficial because you don't just sit in a classroom and learn about the community through a textbook. You're actually able to go out into the community and see how the policies that are in place actually affect and play out the community itself. I myself actually grew up in the Canal neighborhood, so I already had an idea of what to expect when going into the neighborhood. Many times when I would be at the sites, and even to this day, I run into family members and people who have known me since I was a toddler. So that's something that I think is really beneficial on my part because it's easier for me to make connections with individuals and help share the information and resources that we have. A tip that I would have for you all that are planning or want to take a service learning class is that it's totally okay to be scared and nervous when you're first going into the community partner site, because honestly that's how a lot of the people that we're working with feel. Like they come in scared, anxious, or wondering if they should even be asking for help because oftentimes they feel out of place, they feel uncomfortable, they're like scared to ask the wrong questions, or because they don't quite understand the policies that are in place that are like affecting them. So my tip to you would be to not be scared, but more so just think like, okay, I'm feeling like this, they must be feeling like this, if not even more. So that would be my tip for you, and I encourage you all to take service learning classes. They really are worth it. You get to make connections with people that later on could help you with getting a job or just having a new friendship. So yeah.
Awesome. And next up, we have Denise talking about her service learning tip as well.
Hello, everybody. My name's Denise. I'm a sophomore 2 nursing major with a CAS minor and a graphic design minor as well. So I'll give you guys a brief story of my experience. So I've worked with 10,000 Degrees and digital literacy family support remotely, as well as Leyendo Juntos remotely during my freshman year. I was able to use my bilingual abilities to help the parents of the canal maneuver a world that they hadn't encountered before. The stress that they went through when their kid's online school year started was high, but we were able to ease them a bit when they gained the confidence to use certain online applications on their own. I still keep in contact with one of the moms that I helped, and she even invited me to her house a few weeks ago, which really shows just how close you may get to the community members that you help. Last semester, I was able to work in person with Canal Alliance Rental Assistance Program, and I felt like I was able to integrate myself a lot more into the Canal community and get to know the people there and their living situations. I believe that it's important to get to know the people that you're working with, to know their struggles and the hardships that they've gone through so that you can help them in the best way possible. As a nursing major, that mindset also stands. My major tip as a service learner would be to listen and to ask questions. Many people in the Canal community or the other communities that we're working with just want to be heard. And it makes a big difference to be able to say that you know what's going on, that you know what's worrying them so that you can provide them with the aid that they're looking for.
Thank you, Denise. Now we have Izzy, another Edge Fellow.
Hello, my name is Isabel or Izzy. I'm a 3rd year in the occupational therapy program at Dominican, and I have a double minor in psychology and community action and social change. This is my 3rd year doing service learning. I started as a freshman as well for a class requirement, and I just really liked it and took to it. So I decided to stick with it, and I became an Edge Fellow. I'm currently working for Next Generation Scholars, and I've been with them for a few semesters now. We're working on a team called Boost Camp, where I get to work with high school juniors and seniors through their college application process. And through my experience over the past few years, I have noticed that I get the most out of my experiences and my engagement with service learning by not thinking about going to the site each week as a class requirement or as homework, but as an asset that I could also learn from, because we can also benefit as the students going to those sites. I did everything I could to make connections with the people there, make new friends, challenge myself to look deeper into little interactions that I had with everybody. And because of service learning and the current events in the past couple of years, I, as well, I'm sure many of you have as well, become a lot more aware of the injustices in our country and things that we can do to combat them. At my service learning site, I was able to make a lot of amazing connections with people that were working there, and that has led to a lot of really engaged and constructive conversations where I have learned a lot. We've talked about our positionalities as well as our students' positionalities and how we can still help guide them to success despite the inequity that they'll inevitably face in our society. So because of all this, my service learning tip to you guys would just be to be as present and engaged when you're at your site as you can, to make your time and participation as valuable as possible to our community and to your own personal growth and learning. And it's a cheesy line, but service learning is just definitely one of those experiences where you get what you give to it. So that would be my biggest tip.
Thanks, Izzy.
All right, and then for our service learning program outcomes, what you guys are going to have to work on as you're getting started is our service learning modules. They're self-paced and there are 5 of them. They are connected to our service learning program learning outcomes, and you can see them all here. She has them pulled up on our site. So part 1 is practice principles of community engagement and social responsibility. Part 2, we have apply learning in social context. So from theory to practice and practice to theory, this is really how you can be connecting to your schoolwork and the engagement you're having in the classroom with your service site. Part 3 is value community voice and knowledge. Part 4 is critically reflect on root causes and systemic social environmental issues. And I believe part 5 is more of a wrap up and review. So those should not take you too long. They're about 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes per module. And you should have them completed by Wednesday of next week, which is January 26th. And that should also be the deadline to complete and sign up for your community partner. So if you see on our site here, this is our Dominican Service Learning site where we had the modules pulled up, but there are a lot of other sources for you guys. And it's where you can find most and all information that you will need for service learning. So if you have any questions, they're most likely going to be answered on here. We have our Give Pulse info. So if you need help getting signed up or finding any information about your community partner, it's all going to be under that tab there. And Give Pulse is where you will be logging your little reflections after each week. And you can also find more information about our different community partners. This will also be where all their requirements are. If you need any training, paperwork, fingerprinting, if it's necessary for your site, all that information will be there. So make sure to look out for that because you might have to get a couple of those things done before you get started. If you are working in person, you must be vaccinated. So if you are not vaccinated, if you have an exemption, you can look for some of those virtual options. Some of our community partners are offering those. All right, and then lastly, we just have some practical info for you guys. It's not the most fun stuff, but it's really important and it will help make your engagement a lot better and also your contribution to the community partner site. So things like not being on your cell phone when you're at your site, dressing appropriately, think work casual, follow the same guidelines that you would wear to school or that they might be asking of their students there. Find ways to engage with people. If you're having a hard time, you can just ask your CP partner or anybody that you're working with, or even another peer if you're working with another student, and just try to come up with different ideas. And if you can't figure it out, ask for help and they'll help guide you through that. And if you have anything that you need to communicate, please do that directly with your supervisor. Like if you're going to be absent or late, anything like that, treat them with the same respect as a job. Our partners are counting on us and we should be reliable and hold ourselves accountable to those responsibilities.
Thank you, Izzy. And last up, we have Lady.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lady. I am a third-year global public health major with double minors in Spanish and community action and social change. And to start off, a brief overview of myself. I started my service learning journey here my freshman year at Dominican. And I started off with the Canal Alliance UP program in person back before COVID, helping middle school students with homework until the pandemic started when everything shifted virtually. And during this shift, I became part of a wonderful cohort of bilingual students who were supporting our Spanish-speaking community navigating online school and completing schoolwork through various platforms. And just to let you all know, this opportunity is still available for those of us who are bilingual, fluent, or a native Spanish speaker to support local community programs needing our language abilities, whether that is in person or virtual. And we do ask that you do stay for a brief meeting after the orientation to learn more about these opportunities. However, if you can't stay, just identify yourself in your course. No fingerprinting will be required for this. I'm not too sure, maybe depending on the community partner site, but your participation will be highly appreciated and valuable, as well as empowering bilingualism. And just a brief service learning tip, with the pandemic changing our lifestyle dynamics, it made me realize how much we overlooked checking in with one another. And during my time at the Health Hub's food pantry this past semester, including this one, I have been able to practice checking in with community members who come for food, including the volunteers, and that's brought great value for myself, especially when reflecting in my gift posts reflections. So it's not only made me look forward to the following week, but also connect with others on a more personal level. And with that being said, I'd like for each of you to take a few minutes to write down in a Post-it or a paper you have nearby, if you have it easily accessible, and then just write write in the present and start with I am, I can, I welcome, or I am open to get you started on writing your intentions for this semester's service learning. And this will be our reflective portion of our meeting tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and put the sentence starters on the chat for you guys to go ahead and look at. And then once you finish, feel free to turn on your camera and then just hold it up so we can take a little snapshot of everyone's intentions. I'll give you guys like 2 minutes. And then as you guys are finishing up, you can go ahead and start holding them up. And then just to recap, we're writing a little intention for our service learning experience this semester. So whatever you wrote down, if you were able to, just hold it up on the screen so we can go ahead and take a quick photo. All righty. Thank you everyone for participating. And so we hope you have an amazing semester. And just a quick reminder for those of us who are native Spanish speakers, just please stay a little longer for a brief meeting. Everyone else, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to any of us. You can find us in the Edge Fellow section of our service learning website. But other than that, you guys are free to go. If you guys have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat box in the bottom or stay afterwards so we can go ahead and answer them. But thank you for coming.
Thank you.
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 You all did amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Reach out. Jenny Bray, you'll probably email me. Thank you, everyone. Oh, I should probably make.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abby, for hosting and all of it. Let's see.
So probably stop recording, Jenny.
Oh, thank you. You always, yes, I need that reminder.
Also, I believe